Do you sometimes notice that you're holding yourself back, that you're playing rather small, or that you're getting triggered very easily, or even that you're having trust issues towards other people where you're not trusting very easily? Now, if you have any of these, that could really mean that you still hold on to emotional wounds from past experiences. This can be this lifetime, past lifetimes that are really affecting you still today. And in this video, I want to share with you 7 signs that you may still have emotional wounds, that you're still emotionally wounded. So if you would like to know if you are still emotionally wounded, then stay tuned. Hello there, beautiful soul. Welcome back to another video. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Now, my name is Kay Sanders, and this channel is all about helping awakening souls on their spiritual awakening journey so they can really awaken to their power within and create a life of more success, abundance, and freedom, all while living their life on purpose. Now, if that's you, I do want to extend an invitation. Please be sure to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. So, being emotionally wounded, for one, it's actually quite common because we experience a lot in our lifetime. So every single person is still somewhat emotionally wounded because we often carry stuff with us from past lifetimes, karmic lessons, ancestral stuff, and of course in also this lifetime, because even if you had a really great childhood growing up, there's still certain things that happen as you were growing up and even in adulthood that caused you pain, that caused you absolute deep disappointment, that maybe even broke your heart in a way. I mean, just think back at your very first relationship and when that ended. I'm pretty sure you were very heartbroken, right? I remember I didn't want to eat for like 2 days or like a month or so. So it was pretty bad. But we all hold emotional wounds. And the good thing is, whenever things are coming up for you, they're actually coming up for a reason. And these emotional wounds, they can be in different degrees and in different intensities. Now, even if, let's say, something happened to you when you were a child, you now think, well, it happened, it's in the past, it's forgotten. But you see, the thing is, you have not. Your inner child has not. And it doesn't, I'm not talking about any major traumatic event. So let's say you just moved away from all your friends when you were a kid. That can be a traumatic event for a child. I'm not talking about you as an adult that can think more rationally. I'm talking about the little child that experienced those things. And oftentimes our wounds, they stem from early on, or even, like I said, as we're then growing up, even in moving into adulthood, and just the pain just changes in the degree. Because let's face it, let's say you've gone through a really nasty divorce. That causes a lot of emotional wounds that you have to heal from. And it's not just something what happened in the past, we're just going to forget about it. No, because you see, the thing is, anytime something really bad happens, something that really is like it's a shock to your system, it's going through a divorce, losing a loved one, being disappointed by someone, being betrayed by someone, being lied to or cheated or anything like that, right? Or even, something more on a physical level as well. Let's say, you were with an abusive person. Things like that. Now, you may try to make sense of it all now, like, well, it happened, try to be rational about it. But the person that you were at that time has still not dealt with it because, and even, younger, when you were younger as a child, you simply didn't know how to deal with it. And anytime something like that intense happens, it's like a shock to your system. Well, you see, that shock, it stays within your energetic makeup. So anything that really happened, it's like a tear in your energetic field. It's a bump in your energetic field. It stays within you. And anytime you're thinking about something that still holds somewhat of a punch to it when you're thinking about it, like let's say you're thinking about that divorce you've gone through and you're like, ugh, you still have that feeling, or like, oh, that your heart still gets tight. Well, that means there's still something there. You can't make sense of that all. So you still hold on to that. So, but let me share with you those signs, the 7 signs that really are good indicators that you're still emotionally wounded. Because once you have that awareness, it's not so much to then feel bad about it, like, oh, I'm emotionally wounded, but no, that gives you the awareness to then do something about it. Now, for one, you can go through my list of light language activation. I have different light language activation to help you heal and release a lot that you're experiencing. One that I just recently released is healing the emotional wounds. So it's absolutely fitting for this topic. So just stay with me throughout those 7 signs so you can pay attention, like, okay, what is coming up for you? You may even have a pen and paper handy, and as I talk about these 7 signs, write down what comes up to you, and then you can head over to watch my light language activation about healing those emotional wounds. You can then actually tune into what you want to release as you're listening to the light language, and then release it. Now, of course, healing these emotional wounds, you may then also want to reach out to someone to like work with a healer to really help you heal those things. And if you would like my help, I would love to have a conversation with you and see how I can help you. There's a link in the description below about how to apply for a discovery session with me. We can have a conversation. I can see how I can help you. But let me share with you those 7 signs so that you can be more sure if you are having emotional wounds, and who knows what comes up for you. So the first one is you're actually holding yourself back from really moving forward. Like, you're really playing small. You're often self-sabotaging your efforts. Like, for example, you have this amazing idea that you really want to jump on, but then all of a sudden you start talking yourself out of it for whatever reason. Maybe you're like, well, it's not the right time, and I really don't have the time for this right now, and I'm not good enough to do that yet. Or, well, it's going to cost money to do that, so yeah, I may not need to do that. It's nonsense. Things like that. Or another one is like, well, if I do that, what are my family going to say? They're probably not going to like that, so I'm just not going to do that. So you holding yourself back is a good indicator that you're still having emotional wounds, because otherwise you would just leap forward. You would just go with whatever you want to do. And that can also trigger, past memories as well. So let's say you have this idea and then you're having these past memories. Maybe, oh, my parents told me early on that I shouldn't, dream big. I should just, do the regular thing that normal people do, get a job, go to college, get a job, and all these things, and not do anything fancy or anything like that. Or even another thing is that, let's say you tried something in the past and you had this so-called failure that didn't feel so good. So you're like, well, I'm not even going to try because it didn't work back then. So why would I try right now? So all of that is a good indicator. You holding yourself back, self-sabotaging yourself, is a good indicator that you hold emotional wounds, because, well, you may have that fear of failing, fear of disappointing yourself, or even disappointing others. So if you're noticing that you're holding yourself back a lot, like really playing small, playing things safe, you may want to tune in a little bit more and go a little deeper to find out what is causing that. What are those memories that are coming up? What are the feelings that are coming up? What are those painful memories that may be attached to you holding back? Then the second sign is that you feel numb, maybe even disconnected, where you have this energetic wall up. You're not letting anyone get close. And in severe cases, you may not even feel somewhat emotionally shut down or even emotionally unavailable. Now, I'm pretty sure at one point in your life, you met someone that was emotionally unavailable. Maybe you too are experiencing that for yourself right now. I've been there. Before I started my spiritual awakening journey, I was emotionally shut down. I was emotionally unavailable, basically, and I had to heal through that. But the beautiful thing is, once you become aware of certain things, that you are having wounds, which for one is not a bad thing, by the way. It's a good thing, because when you become aware, then you can do something about it. But there are a lot of people that are emotionally shut down, emotionally unavailable, or having this energetic wall up because it's the protection measure. But if you're feeling disconnected to yourself, to your life, you're feeling somewhat numb, and you're noticing that you're having a hard time really connecting with another person, that means you have this emotional wall up. And the purpose for that is, well, you don't want to get hurt again. Let's say you have gotten hurt a lot, in your past, maybe through relationships or friendships or, even family. And you don't want to get hurt again. So of course you're going to put up that wall, right? But in order to really move forward, and if you really want to let that go and really feel connected again, you kind of have to heal those wounds. Because once you do and you open yourself up again, you feel more whole again. But having that emotional wall up, that energetic wall up, also causes you to not let anyone get close to you. Like for me, it actually played out like that when I started my business. I had this massive wall up, and I had a very, very hard time allowing clients to come to me because, well, you kind of got to connect with people. You kind of got to build that bond. And I had a hard time with that. So for the longest time, I really struggled with that until I had to heal my emotional wounds around that, to really learn how to trust people again, to learn to let people in, to connect, having that heart-to-heart conversation, a heart-to-heart connection with another person. So just know that whatever you are now noticing, if anything is coming up for you, maybe you are realizing that, yeah, I had gotten hurt really bad in the past. And you know what? It still stings a little bit. That is so beautiful, because that gives you awareness and that gives you a choice you can do something about it. Like I said, for one thing, listen to the light language activation about healing the emotional wounds, focusing on or putting your attention on what you want to heal and release that. Or like I said, reach out to me and I can see how I can best help you. But feeling disconnected and numb is the second sign. The third sign is that you also are very anxious. Maybe you're also experiencing depression and often fear. And that is usually triggered by those emotional wounds. And these are known or unknown emotional wounds. Now, they're always present. That's the thing. They're always present deep beneath the surface. Now, like I said, you may not even be aware of the wounds that you have, because for one, maybe you don't want to open Pandora's box. Maybe you don't want to tap into that. Or you deep down, there's something there, but you have stuff that is so deeply down, you don't want to touch it. Right? But you see, the thing is, even you stuffing the stuff down doesn't make it go away. It still stays there. And then it peeks its ugly head out, and that can cause the whole feeling shut down, feeling emotionally unavailable, causing anxiety, depression, fear, and deep worry, and all of those different things. So just kind of check in with yourself. If you often get anxiety and really stressed out and worried, and maybe even depression or even fear, that may be a good indicator that you may want to dig a little deeper to find out, well, what is causing that? What is going on? And what is at a deeper root here? The fourth sign is that you're really feeling stuck in life, like you're seeking a deeper meaning, that deeper fulfillment in life, but nothing seems to fill that void. Nothing seems to fill that hunger or still that hunger or eases that dissatisfaction that you're experiencing about life. Now, you may be doing a lot of different things, trying out different things, but nothing really quite fits. Or you're not allowing yourself to really, move forward in something. And, that goes back to the whole first part here about, self-sabotaging yourself, holding back. But you may also feel like you're kind of going in circles. You're not really getting anywhere. You're doing a lot of different things, trying to find that one thing that really brings you a deep fulfillment. But nothing really fits that, because you see, when you're having all these emotional wounds, well, you can't find fulfillment because, like I said, all that stuff is still down there, down beneath the surface, and it will keep you from feeling fulfilled. And that's why you may not even really feel stuck in life, because nothing you do really gives you a deep fulfillment that you're looking for. So here too, an invitation to go deep to find out what is really going on, what is deep beneath the surface. Now, I'm pretty sure you're already aware of some of the stuff that's really going on, but now you may really go deeper. And I understand if you don't want to do this on your own, because opening Pandora's box all on your own, not having support, not having help, can be very, very frightening, because, well, you don't want to open it, and, well, what if you can't close it anymore? What if it overwhelms you? That's why probably up until this point, you maybe didn't go deep with that. And here you always have a choice to then maybe find a healer, find someone, a coach, a mentor, a counselor, someone that can really help you unpack what is deep within. And like I said, if you would like my help, reach out, request a discovery session. I would love to help you. But going deep is really powerful, because you don't want to carry this stuff with you. If you are having emotional wounds, it is really important that you release them for your own sake. Because you can't just say, well, it's in the past, I'm going to forget about it, it makes sense, whatever. No, because like I said, it stays within your energetic makeup. All of those bad things, they're still within your energetic makeup. Then the fifth sign here is that you don't trust very easily. You really have a hard time trusting another soul or another person. Maybe you're feeling like you're just waiting for the shoe to drop, right? You're always kind of like worried, like, oh my God, what is going to happen? Or you're also wondering or questioning another person's intention. Let's say you're meeting someone and then right away you're wondering, like, are they just lying to me? Are they just playing me? Anything like that, right? And this whole distrust can also affect you from really building those deep relationships, these deep connections, the heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul connections. Then the sixth sign is low self-esteem and self-worth, where you feel like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Who am I to make an impact? Things like that. You really play small. You hold yourself back because you don't think you are cut out for that. You don't think you are good enough to do that. And I've seen that a lot, with not just in the spiritual community, but just everywhere. Like, I mean, I used to be a business coach. And every one of my clients, you know, they was like, well, they're not good enough to do that, you know, and I still see it now with a lot of people that I work with. It's like low self-esteem, the whole feeling of not being good enough is often at the forefront. And usually that comes from something that happened in the past. So if you feel like you don't really have a lot of high self-esteem, you don't really see yourself as someone that can really live the life that you truly want and, you know, make the impact that you want to make, maybe also a good invitation to really go deeper, like, where's this coming from? Why do you not believe in yourself? Why do you not think that you're good enough to do this? Because you are good enough to get started and you can always improve moving forward. And you have it within you to live the life that you want. It's about believing in yourself. But like I said, that also is a good sign that you're having emotional wounds that tell you you're not good enough. You can't do it. And the seventh and final sign here is that, and please, I don't want to step on any toes here, but it's being in victim mode. And what I mean with that is like thinking that life is happening to you, that everything is happening to you, like you have no control over anything, instead of believing that life is happening for you. And what I mean with that is like really believing that everything that is happening in your life, it's happening for a reason and to your highest and greatest good. And believe me, I've had my fair share of really difficult times, from, you know, going through a really ugly divorce and almost losing everything I have because I didn't have the money. And it was just like so many different things that I have experienced. But yes, when you're in the moment of it, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when you start believing that life is happening for you, that it's happening for a reason, I now know whatever I was going through was happening to my highest and greatest good because it helped me learn certain things. But it's also really, you know, not being the victim in your own life, but really taking responsibility, because everything in your life you created. And as bad as this may sound, and I hope you're not mad at me for saying it, but everything in your life, you created it by, I'm pretty sure you heard of the term cause and effect, right? The choices you've made at one point in your life caused a certain effect. I know for me, when I was going through my really tough time of financial hardship, it's because the choice I made to walk away from my job, because my job was very toxic, and I decided I want to jump right into my business. But then my spiritual awakening happened and that threw everything off. But I put myself into this financial hardship because of the choice I made of walking away from my job. And then not really looking for a job in the beginning because I really wanted to make my business work. And then by the time I realized, oh shoot, I don't have no more money left, I need to find a job, you know, then the choice that I made still led me to, then I was driving for Uber and Lyft. Well, that hurt my back. Then I was down basically for the count for about 9 months and couldn't do anything, right? So it's the choices that I made led me to the situation that I was experiencing. Same with you right now. The choices you made at one point in your life led you to where you're at right now. And when you take responsibility over your life like that, and then realizing that, what, you know, I probably chose certain things because of those emotional wounds that I have, then you can take responsibility and say, well, okay, now I can do something about it. You can go deep, you can heal, you can release, you can make different choices. You can take back the responsibility, say, I don't want this. This is not the life I want. Well, what do I want instead? And then aligning yourself to that new life that you want, and then creating that. Yes, it all sounds simple as I talk about it right now, but that's the basis of it. When you take responsibility over your life and see life that it's happening for you, Everything that happens in your life, it's meant to help you find your path in life. And I'm talking about also the really ugly and devastating things. There is a lesson in all of that. There's a gift in all of that. But when you have those emotional wounds, it's very easy to be in victim mode and thinking that life is happening to you rather than for you. So I know this one may have, stepped on certain people's toes. I hope I didn't upset you with that. I too had to come to a realization that I was a victim in my own life for a very long time, until I realized that I don't want to be the victim in my own life anymore. And then I took back control. I did what I had to do. Basically, everything that I'm sharing with you in this video today, these 7 signs, I had them all. I had them all. And then with the awareness, then I did something about it. I was working with mentors. I was working with healers. I did so much healing. I did my own healing. I worked with my own Akashic records. I did my own light language. Then I went with mentors. I still have, mentors that I still work with to help me, because oftentimes we're too close to our own stuff. So we don't often see what is going on. That's why when you then work with someone, you have an outside person, and especially if you're working with someone that's intuitive, that can really tune in to find out what is really going on. That is so powerful. And I really, really recommend, if you don't have a mentor or a healer or someone that can help you with that, find yourself one. That can really change your life. And like I said, if you would like my help, look in the description below. Apply for a discovery session. We can have a conversation to see how I can best help you, really heal and release at a deeper level. That's what I do with my clients. I help them heal at the deepest level to really set themselves free to create the life that they want. And if you would like my help, I would be honored to be your guide on this healing journey as well. But here you go, you have these 7 signs that you may still have emotional wounds. And I highly recommend check out that video, the light language activation, to really help and heal those emotional wounds that maybe something has been coming up for you as you were listening to this video. Take that as a sign that whatever came up for you as you were listening, even if it was painful, even though it was not very comfortable, perfectly fine. Be grateful that it came up, because when stuff comes up, that's a sign that it is ready to be let go of. And what you can do now moving forward is you can assess your life too. Now, not just what came up for you right now as you were listening, but you can then really, take a pen and paper, go somewhere where you can be undisturbed, and then go through your life, like every year of your life. You can start with as early as 1 year, or even a baby. There are certain things that I remember as a baby that I need to heal. So go year by year and write everything and anything down that comes up to you that still holds somewhat of an emotional punch to it, like a negative punch to it, that it feels still somewhat hurtful. Write it all down. And then what you're going to do is then either listen to the light language activation, or then also for yourself, then you can decide you want to let that go. Because sometimes just becoming aware of what was going on gives you the power to really say, I'm going to let that go. So, because like I said, when you have the awareness, then you have a choice. If you're not aware of it, well, you don't have a choice, because, well, you're not aware of it. So by you going through your life and really uncovering, like, what is still bothering me? What is still hurting me? That gives you power, because then you have the awareness. And something just the uncovering is powerful enough to release it, because then a part of you can say, I'm done with that. I've carried that with me for far too long. I'm done with it. I'm going to let it go. Okay? That in itself can be powerful. But then, like I said, listen to the light language to heal and release the emotional charge on a deeper core level. But here you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, maybe leave a comment below. Let me know, how do you feel about the signs that I just shared with you? Do you maybe even have other signs that you know of that I haven't mentioned? Because I mean, they're a lot more, but I didn't want to talk for an entire hour. But let me know, how do you feel about what I just shared with you today? But thank you so much for being here. Now be sure to check out this next video here about the light language activation to heal those emotional wounds. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant and successful day. Namaste.